Does anybody have any idea what the heck is going on with Niantic or at Niantic headquarters when it comes to Pokemon Go? This video is going to be kind of a short one. I just wanted to talk about something that's been really confusing and bothering me lately, and that is the mistakes that are happening and coming out of Pokemon Go. Niantic, what the heck is this? Shiny Gastly doesn't look anything like this, and the Gastly family has been in the Pokemon Network traffic for Pokemon Go since about a year. And so this shouldn't be too much of a surprise, but I thought that maybe they would at least fix the Shiny Gastly. Shiny Gastly looks like this. It's got the blue aura around it. It's pretty much a perfect shiny, and that's extremely rare coming out of Generation 1 because, hey, they didn't pick the shinies themselves. So to have a shiny that looks this good and end up with something like this it's almost inhumane. And I know that plenty of you probably think that this is overreacting, especially those of you that aren't shiny hunters, but this is just one of many mistakes that have been coming out of Pokemon Go recently. It's actually insane. When Generation 4 finally got released, which, might I add, took way longer than expected, Luxio was hatching from 10-kilometer eggs. That should never happen. That shouldn't be canon. The first Pokemon in any evolutionary line hatches from an egg. That has always been how it is, and that's a huge mistake that just cannot be made. Shinx should be hatching from the eggs, not Luxio. So that right there was a huge red flag. Then if you took a deeper look into the coding, which you might not want to because you're not gonna like what you find, Cerebi Joe found that Fione was evolving into Manaphy via Candy, which is just like a complete inaccuracy when it comes to Pokemon. These are mistakes that can't be made because when it comes to a Pokemon game, facts are facts, and if you start messing with those, then you're changing up everything. Pokemon Go has become such an integral part of just the Pokemon community and Pokemon in general. Let's face it, Let's Go is happening because of Pokemon Go. And so to see these inaccuracies and these mistakes coming out of a huge game like Pokemon Go, it's extremely problematic. Who's to say Shiny Gastly wouldn't look like that in Pokemon Let's Go now because of this? And so from then on, Shiny Gastly is always going to have this purple fog instead of that amazing blue fog. We can't have that happen. Imagine if you're hatching for a Shiny Shinx and you got a Luxio instead. Or in the next mainline game, you got a Fione and you just evolved it into Manaphy because you could. That is not something that can happen in a Pokemon game. Pokemon is reliant on the facts and the details. And if we start changing those, it's gonna ruin the entire series. The whole thing is going to come crumbling down. I don't know, am I overreacting? Maybe. But you guys can let me know your concerns down below because I've gotten quite a few on Twitter. I've seen so many people upset just about the shinies, and so I wanted to get your opinion as well. I will say this, I've been a huge fan of Niantic since the get-go, and so I'm not gonna fault them for working on other projects. They have Harry Potter Go coming out, and Ingress has always been a huge deal for them. But now it just feels as if they don't care about Pokemon Go as much. They've got the C string working on it. It's okay to have your first and second string teams working on those bigger projects, that's fine. But if C-String can't even use Google to find out that Fione doesn't evolve into Manaphy, then we have a huge problem. We need to maintain accuracy and focus here. Pokemon Go is still a huge moneymaker for Niantic, and it's really kind of terrifying to think that simple mistakes like this are being made in such a huge integral game for the Pokemon community. Even when Meltan got released, and a lot of people had a problem with that, and the way they revealed a brand new Pokemon, you know, I was fine with it. I was optimistic and I was like, this is actually kind of cool to see a Pokemon get revealed through Pokemon Go. This is exciting. But when it started transforming into Kecleon on the map, and suddenly there were a ton of Kecleon, that raised some eyebrows. That is not something that can happen. So it just doesn't really add up or make sense. So I don't know, I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to see what you guys thought and kind of voice my concern. We can't be making these mistakes. The more mistakes we're making in Pokemon Go, the less people are actually playing Pokemon in general. Do not be the cause of the downfall of Pokemon, Niantic. Please make sure that what you are doing is correct before you send it out. It's not that hard. Have somebody on the freaking team like, just play a Pokemon game. With all of the shinies that you guys have been releasing, that's amazing. Ponyta and Cubone are now coming out pretty soon, but the reason for it is to promote Ingress, your other game. So like, it just very much feels like we're taking advantage, not only that, but also putting Pokemon Go on the back burner. It's not as important, it's still a huge moneymaker for you guys, but you don't care as much. So little that you're making simple mistakes that shouldn't be made in the first place. Please keep the information accurate. Have somebody on the team able to greenlight whether or not the things you're doing make sense or are accurate to the Pokemon games, because if we keep making mistakes like this, it's gonna be detrimental to Pokemon in general. I don't know. I just wanted to talk about this. You guys have been asking my opinion, so there it is. I want shinies to be accurate. I want the evolutions to be accurate. Doesn't matter if it's a phone game, doesn't matter if it's a 3DS game, a Switch game, a freaking Game Boy Color game. Pokemon facts are facts for a reason, and if we start messing with those, we're screwing everything else. So please let me know what you think about all of this down below. I'm excited to see what you guys have to say about it as well. And I know this was a little bit of a different video, but I felt like I wanted to talk about it and kind of start this conversation and see what you guys thought as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. More videos are coming very soon, but until next time, this is Supreme Arcanine signing out. See you guys later.